Hey there, my name is Kayla and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm announcing another readathon that I'm participating in during the month of October. It is called the Nightmare Before TBR, which TBR actually stands for Tim Burton Readathon. It is hosted by Medusa Reads and it is occurring October 1st through the 31st. I will post all of her social media information in the description box below, as well as the announcement video she posted containing all the information you would need if you wanted to participate as well. So the nice thing about this readathon is that you can use one book for multiple prompts. You can choose all the prompts, you can choose only a few of them. You can really customize it to your experience and what you want to accomplish for yourself. And you can even use other books from other readathons to fulfill the prompts of this readathon. This readathon is kind of designed to be very chill, very stress-free, and very kind of whatever you want to do, whatever works for you, just have fun with it kind of a thing. So I really appreciate that because I'm participating in 2 readathons in October and I'm nervous about whether or not I'm going to be able to hit all of the prompts for everything. So the fact that this is designed to be very laid back and very stress-free is something I super appreciate. So thank you, Medusa Reads, for designing something that is just geared towards everybody having fun. So obviously Tim Burton Readathon, it is centered around all of Tim Burton's most popular movies. There are 8 movies on the list and each movie has 2 prompts to choose from. You can do both or you can just pick one or the other. So I think I'm just going to be picking one just to make it easier on myself and so I don't get so stressed out that I forget to have fun. The first movie listed is probably one of the most iconic Tim Burton movies of all time, and that is The Nightmare Before Christmas. And the 2 prompts are read a book with a holiday theme and or read a book where a character goes from evil to good. I decided to choose the prompt read a book where a character goes from evil to good. And the book that fits that prompt for me is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies by Jane Austen and Seth Grahame-Smith. So if you've read Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, then this story is going to be very familiar to you. However, they just added zombies in to the plot. And I love this book. I have read it before. It is just so much fun to me. It is basically a parody type situation because it's Pride and Prejudice and zombies. Like, they just threw zombies and there's a great zombie war going on in the midst of all the social drama that all the characters are facing in this story. So I will never turn down a reread of this book. So the reason this one fits is I'm kind of using a loose interpretation of the prompt here. The character that goes from evil to good, in my understanding, is Mr. Darcy, but that is from Elizabeth's point of view. Not that Darcy was ever good or bad to begin with, it's just her perception of him. So that's kind of how I'm using this book to fit the prompt. The next Tim Burton movie is Beetlejuice, and the 2 prompts for Beetlejuice are read a book with a haunted place or person, and or read a book with a helpful spirit / ghost / person. So the book I chose kind of fulfills both prompts for the Beetlejuice movie, and that is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. So this book fulfills not only these prompts for Beetlejuice, but also for another readathon that I'm participating in. This is a middle grade novel, and it is about a girl. Her name is Cassidy Blake, and she and her family moved to Scotland, and she learns that she has this ability to lift the veil between the living and the dead, and she can communicate with ghosts. So she's haunted, and she goes to a haunted area in Scotland, and so it's kind of, you know, it works. And I think she comes across a spirit that helps her along the way, if I'm not mistaken. I've never read it before, but I'm really interested to read this one. The next Tim Burton movie is 9, and the 2 prompts for 9 are read a dystopian book and or read a book with green on the cover. And so the prompt that I chose for 9 is read a dystopian book, and the book that I chose for this prompt is 4 by Veronica Roth. This is a kind of a companion novella to the Divergent series that she wrote however long ago. I've never read this one. It's supposed to tell some of the story from 4's point of view, and I know that this is set in a dystopian time, just like Divergent. Either this is a book that sets up and leads up to Divergent and his experience with Cress, or it's like as Divergent is happening. So I'm not sure about that, but I'm interested to read some of the story from Four's point of view. So the next movie on the list is Edward Scissorhands, and the 2 prompts for this movie are read a book with an isolated / lonely character, and or read a book with a heart on the cover. The prompt that I chose for this movie is read a book with an isolated / lonely character, and the book that I chose for the prompt is The Shining by Stephen King. I don't have it with me, so I'll have to go get that one. I will be buddy reading this with Cress from StarCrossedBooks, and from my understanding, and I've never read this book before, it is a small family of 3. They move to an isolated hotel in the off-season of winter, and the young son is the only one who experiences like the supernatural stuff going on, and so he really can't relate to his parents, what's happening to him or around him. So in that way, he is an isolated character in his experiences. So that's why I chose that one. The next movie on the list is Sweeney Todd, and the 2 prompts for Sweeney Todd are read a book with a musical reference or theme, and or read a book with a murder. So the prompt that I chose for this one is read a book with a musical reference or theme, and the book that I chose for that prompt is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I'm also reading this one for the Hocus Pocus TBR, so again, it's another book that fits multiple reading prompts for me and makes my life a little bit easier. The title is called This Savage Song, so there's the musical reference, plus it has a violin on the cover. It is about 2 main characters, Kate and August. Kate is a human female, and August is some other creature male. And so they have to kind of work together to save their city from being ravaged by these awful creatures, and there's kind of like a turf war going on. But music does play a role in August's life, so that's why I chose this for Sweeney Todd. So the next movie is Corpse Bride, and the 2 prompts for Corpse Bride are read a book based in another world, and or read a book with forbidden love. So I chose the prompt read a book with forbidden love, and the book that I chose for that is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. So this is the group book for the Hocus Pocus Readathon that's taking place October 1st through the 13th. But it also seems to fit this prompt as well, because it's basically about a woman who is a witch and part of a coven, and a man who is aligned with the church. And so they end up getting married and having to like prove their relationship real, but then I think they fall in love. It's like super slow burn or something, and I'm just like, ooh, it reminds me of like the Salem witch trials, but like also like Romeo and Juliet type of thing. So I do hope it's that type of forbidden love that I'm imagining in my head. I've never read this before, and I'm interested to see how that like plays out in this book. The next movie on the list is Dark Shadows, and the 2 prompts for Dark Shadows are read a book with a vampire, and or read a book with black on the cover. So I chose black on the cover, and it's also because the book that I chose for the prompt is coinciding with the Hocus Pocus Readathon as well, and that is Bird Box by Josh Malerman. This is about a mom and her 2 children. They have to navigate a world where creatures exist that if you visually perceive them, you, the human, will go like insane and become ultra violent and attack anybody around you. Obviously there's black on the cover, so it fits that prompt. The last movie on the list is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the 2 prompts for that movie is read a childhood favorite, and or read a book with purple on the cover. And the book that I chose for this actually just like coincidentally fits both of those prompts. So the book I chose is Island of the Ants by Eva Ibbotson. This I read growing up and I absolutely love it. It is about these 2 kids. They get kidnapped by these 3 ants, as they call themselves, their sisters, and they are taken to an island where they learn to care for mythological creatures, including mermaids and selkies, and there's a kraken in there somewhere. So it's just a middle grade read, and it's quirky, it's kind of fantastical, and I grew up reading this when I was a kid, and somewhere along the way I lost my copy and I had to find this edition on Amazon. So I'm really excited to read it again for the first time in years, and it fits the prompts very well. So So those are the books I've chosen for the Tim Burton movies on this readathon. There is also an optional scavenger hunt that Medusa Reads has set up. The scavenger hunt list will be announced at the end of September, and so you just do one picture challenge a day and you just post it on Twitter or Instagram with her hashtag on there. So I don't know how much I'll be participating with that. I really want to. It just depends on how much time I have and how much reading I have to get done on any given day. So, but I think it's a super great idea, and I think that if you're really interested in something fun and stress-free and relaxing and just in the Halloween fall vibe, then this is a perfect readathon for you. So I really highly recommend that you check it out. I made mention that I'm participating in the Hocus Pocus readathon also. If you're interested in learning more about my TBR for that, I will leave a link in the description box, as well as, because I'm participating in 2 readathons in October, I plan to wrap each readathon up individually as opposed to doing an October wrap up. So hopefully middle of October I'll have the Hocus Pocus readathon wrap up, and then I will have the Tim Burton readathon wrap up at the end of the month. And then maybe I'll throw in like a book tag or something, we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for both of the readathons, and I hope you guys are too. Hit me up on Twitter and Instagram if you want to keep up with my progress for the readathons, and hopefully I will see you guys soon. Alright, bye!